Ensuring leadership commitment is one of the most important things as a part of diversity and inclusion. It's in fact the first step. We need to remember that diversity and inclusion is not an HR agenda. It's the agenda of every employee of the organization. It needs to be embedded in the culture, and therefore it needs to rightfully start with the leadership. Welcome to this edition of Diversity Dialogues, where we talk about leadership and inclusion and the importance of it at the workplace.
For leaders to commit to inclusion, there needs to be a strong business case. And like every other inclusion, LGBT inclusion also has three primary business cases. One is productivity and innovation. A culture that fosters innovation and productivity is the one that allows employees to be themselves and bring their whole selves to work. The Mingle study has shown that LGBT employees who are out and open are more productive than employees who are closeted.
And the Mingle study has also indicated that there's a large amount of homophobia and transphobia at the workplace, which does not allow LGBT people to be themselves there. And this leads to a lot of issues around retention and engagement. Therefore, to be able to ensure that an LGBT employee is as productive, is as engaged, is able to give their best, it's important to look at this aspect of inclusion.
Brands that are LGBT inclusive in the marketplace, right, are seen as being progressive and standing up for the right thing. Today, there are a lot of brands who are being very visibly LGBT inclusive, and they can be inclusive externally only if they are intrinsically inclusive. Brands cannot assume that their customers, suppliers, partners, vendors are all straight and cisgendered. And being inclusive helps them market their products better to the marketplace.
Right. So from even a customer and a marketing angle, it becomes very, very important. We've looked at the business case of why. Now let's understand how do we do it. So one part of it is to be able to talk to the leaders, to be able to build that level of awareness so that they understand what LGBT inclusion really is all about. The second part of it then maybe, and I've seen many organizations do this very effectively, is to have one of the business leaders champion this, become the executive sponsor for this agenda, and to ensure that in every aspect of their communication, this is something that is taken into account. There are no bottlenecks in LGBT inclusion, and all the leaders own it together, and it becomes a part of the organization.
Right, and that's a great approach for a top-down strategy which allows to build an inclusion framework from a management perspective. But what really makes the deal is the culture which is built from a bottom-up approach. And a good way of doing this is employee resource groups. Employee resource groups, simply put, is a coming together of employees who are members or allies of the LGBT community to take forward the inclusion agenda. It is important to note that this group is not initiated by the management or the HR. It has to be something that is organically seeded from inside. The objectives of such an ERG are: 1, to provide peer support and a sense of community among the members; 2, to build leadership and mentoring; 3, is to be a source of giving feedback to the HR and management; and most importantly, providing sensitization awareness to the rest of the organization.
It's important to note that an employee resource group, like Ritesh very rightly said, is about promoting the cause for LGBT inclusion. It is not about telling people that they necessarily need to come out. It is about creating a conducive work atmosphere, a conducive culture where if an employee chooses to come out, they are able to do so.
So if you're a leader in an organization, you now have the business case to take forward LGBT inclusion. All the best.
Thank you for watching this video. If you have any further questions, please write to us, and see you soon.